Hello, dear friends, and today I'd like to uh, tell you something about life and death. What is life and death, and what what does it get to do with our existential questions, like where do I come from, where do I go when I die, what happens to me, uh, what people call me, what happens to us when we die? Will we go to will we perish completely when we die, or will we move on somewhere, go to heaven, or well, the simple answer is that um, uh, once you find out who you are, you'll understand these questions of life and death. In fact, um, we know that we are, as I mentioned before in my previous videos, that we are not the body. So the body is impermanent. The body, when you were a little kid, was that you? It's constantly changing as you grow up, you get older, and then you die. But once you find out who you are, you'll notice that there is something underneath all that that is actually permanent. That is what we call no self. So truly, if people ask you, so who is it that dies when you die? And if you look it deeply inside yourself, you'll see that there is no one there that actually dies. There is absolutely no one you can point to. What we call self is made up of memories, um, made up of emotions that we think they are about our image about ourselves. But truly, who are we? And if you look deep inside, you cannot find anything. So the Buddha said, this nature of ours, this consciousness, this uh, what we call the non-self or no self, is actually not impermanent but permanent. And these questions, these deep questions about death, will be answered for you once you find that out. So yeah, there's not much to say about this because I can't tell you what happens when people die. And but one thing I can tell you is that you actually will have to let go of eventually when you die. Physically, your body dies. You will have to let go of your notions of the self. So whether you do it now and save yourself a trouble to have regrets and all sort of experience all sort of emotions before death, before physical death, or you can just find out for yourself who you truly are and move on with your life without being too too questionable about these things like life and death things, questions about life and death. So what I can tell you is that once you find out who you are, and once your mind stops thinking, these questions will not arise in your mind anymore. You will just continue on. Your physical body will change, but you'll notice that your inner self, who you truly are, is not changing. And in fact, uh, I can point out to you something really interesting. When you I get like a Cohen question, but it's gonna answer in its own. Really pointing out to the mind. When you were 5 years old, would you say that was you, or it wasn't you? That is the question for you. So For me, obviously that was me. However, you notice that from 5 years old, when I was still little child, I grew up, I changed. So how can that be me, right? But I'm not talking about the physical body here. I'm talking about, I'm pointing out to you to who you are with this question. So was that you when you were 5 years old? Think about this. Like, was that you or wasn't you? And in this process of life, I realized that even my thinking was changed. Even thinking changes from childhood to adulthood, and you gain experience and a sort of memories, sort of everything. But still, there is a still underlying you, who you are truly, truly. I'm talking about. So when you say that was me, yes, that was me. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That is exactly who you are. When you see that when you were 5 years old and you say that is you, but I'm talking about the body. I'm talking about, think about that memory, or not about the memory, but just think about yourself uh, when you were a child. Was that you or wasn't it you? If you say it wasn't me, how can that be? Yes, the body changed, but who you truly are never changed. So that's why the question of life and death is continues on. You will still be you when your body dies. You will still be who you are. So that's the simplest answer. Thank you for watching.